Hey y'all, so let's talk about the Gabby Petito case and the Burnett letter. Isn't that something? The Petitos are such stand-up people. They are fighting so hard and doing such a good job. I hired a hell of a lawyer, I gotta say. I really like Pat Riley. Letter. If you write a typical letter to your son, number one, what would be embarrassing about that if it was a typical letter to your child? Why would you have to fight so hard to hide it, to ask for a protective order, to keep it secret? I mean, it's just a letter to your son, right? Except for this isn't just a letter to a son, is it? So I thought about the timeline. The timeline of this letter is so crucial. And of course, the Laundries and their lawyer. I didn't really think anybody could be as irritating as Bruno, but Luca sure is trying. But the timeline of this letter. So they want everybody to believe that this letter was written sometime prior to this trip. This trip in which they take a very tiny van that they're going to live in and pack limited supplies in this tiny space for this road trip. And he's going to pack that letter. Yeah, I'm not buying that shit. And I don't think that any logical person would buy that shit either. I don't think a jury's going to suck that one up. It just doesn't make any sense. Number one, that a male of his age would even keep such a letter, but with the limited space and the way that they were packing this little tiny van, what is the sense in taking something like that? And then also you've got to consider that supposedly he flew home to clean out a storage locker to save money. Yeah, he bought a round-trip airline ticket to save money on a storage unit. So let's let that one sink in and try to simulate how that would even work. But what if she wrote that letter when he was flying back to meet up with Gabby? The biggest question in my mind on that would be, why? Why didn't he destroy it before he met up with Gabby? I think if Roberta is embarrassed, he should have been equally embarrassed by the letter and not wanting Gabby to see it. So I had to settle on the biggest speculation in that she must have given it to him when he returned home without Gabby. Maybe she handed it to him prior to his little walkabout. They found it with his effects after his supposed demise or disappearance. To me, that would suggest a timeline. And I hope that it suggests a timeline to a jury. I mean, this guy isn't going to carry this letter on a trip and carry it around in his pocket. Let's not dismiss the fact that there is something very odd, very off and strange about this letter. You don't write this type of letter to your child. Your boy's going off to college and you're going to describe how you would help him hide a body or escape from jail. or your biblical undying love sealed with Psalms from the Bible? No, I don't think so. I really don't think so. For me, it settles somewhere between Shakespearean, Macbeth meets Romeo and Juliet and tangles up with Oedipus Rex. It was that creepy. In no way, shape, or form do I think that a normal mother would think that this is a normal letter that you write to your son. Any child, but much less a mother-son relationship. To be speaking of this undying love in such a way. Yeah, yes, a mother's love is an undying love. And yes, a mother would do anything for her child. But there were tones, there were things in there that just do not lend itself to a motherly type of love. I'd really like to know what you think in the comments. I really would. If you haven't already, please watch some of my other videos on the Gabby Petito case. I'm going to stay with it until it's resolved for Gabby's parents. They're heroes. Thank y'all for watching.